Hello, everybody. Thank you
Hi,
so much
everyone.
for joining this live webinar today. We were kind of hanging out for a couple more people to join, but yeah, we thought we'd just jump in here anyway. Just just to see if some other people kind of joined, but we certainly um, appreciate you joining, or the people that have joined. Might just give it a couple more minutes to see if anyone else does jump in before we start kicking things off.
Yeah, in the meantime, if any one of you have any comments or insights and feedback you'd like to start sharing, feel free to drop them in the chat and we'll bring that to our discussion today. And then, yeah.
Yeah, John, you can also share that feedback link. Everyone has probably received the email about this feedback session. So there was a link there. That's incredibly valuable for us to get your kind of insights in there. You can make it anonymous if you want as well. You don't have to put your name to it, but if you did provide your name, maybe we can circle back to you and continue the discussion. So, okay, I think we'll kind of get started. I might start by sharing my screen. So we're working on a couple of new things. One is this um, widget that will enable people like yourselves, professionals, to specify your own hourly rate. So at the moment, this is a development item that just we haven't had the we haven't sort of been heading down the track of development for the platform to enable you to kind of be putting in your own hourly rate, and that kind of propagates all the pricing on the website, and then kind of enables clients to engage you on those fees that you're looking to earn. So as you're kind of coming through the sign up process, we discuss what the hourly rate is with you, and we kind of put that hourly rate into the back end of the platform. So unfortunately, it's a bit of a clunky system that we can't then enable you to easily access it. So if you wanted to change your hourly rate in the future, you'd have to come to us. We'd have to go to the website developers, and we'd have to kind of get them to change it. So the first thing, though, before we move on to that, I do want to touch base on some feedback we got about a survey that we conducted a couple of months ago. And I certainly thank everyone who completed that survey. It was really interesting. There was probably about 30 or 40 people, I think, that completed it and provided that insight. And, to kind of give a bit of a background on what it's about. Essentially, the predominant way in which CAD/CAM makes money is a markup on the hourly rate in which you guys are charging your clients. So if you're charging, let's say, $35 an hour, we would mark it up, and the client would be charged X amount. That's essentially how CAD/CAM has been making money, recently, most recently, and until we started to introduce the subscriptions. So the markup, we've started to call the split, and there's kind of like a lot of different platforms that also do this type of thing. One I can think of is Turo, where they have a 25-75% split. So the 25% goes to running the Turo platform and covering the insurance for the cars in which the user groups are driving and providing. And yeah, it's just essentially the way that platform makes money. So, you know, thinking about it slightly, you know, along those lines, you know, we thought that that's actually kind of how CADCOW makes money too. We were just calling it a markup. We're now kind of looking at, you know, calling it maybe the split. So the split would be a percentage of the total fee a client would pay. So for instance, if a client would pay $50 and it was a 70-30% split, 30% being what CADCOW's revenue would be, 70% what would be your hourly rate, then that $50 a client pays ends up being $35 for you as the professional. So essentially, kind of like moving forward, we're going to have, you know, we're experimenting with this split. So, you know, if we're moving to this way in which you select your hourly rate, and then this, you know, 30% is applied above that, and that's what the kind of client would pay. So coming back to what we're looking at here on the screen, this pie chart, this is the results of this survey. So we asked you what you thought a reasonable split would be between what CADCOW earns and what you, the professional, earns. As you can see, the top two here, being these top two here, both achieved 29% of the vote. So the top one, it is an 85-15% split, where your fee would represent 85% of that total hourly rate, and CADCOW would receive 15%. The other one is a 70-30% split. So your fee representing 70%, CADCOW's fees representing 30%. I think the interesting thing is this actually is, you know, what John and I were kind of having a sense of that we would probably need to start with, at least, to essentially keep CADCOW in business. But interestingly, this is what we thought maybe as the kind of economy of scale, as CADCOW grows and there's more users and there's more business, we could probably sort of start to switch that share of the fee to something like more like an 85-15% split. I think that's an important thing to kind of note here, is that, you know, we need to sort of start somewhere and probably end somewhere. So I think these two popular split options here really do paint quite a nice picture of what you know, what generally professionals think is sort of fair and equitable, and where we can kind of go with this. I'd certainly kind of like welcome your feedback. So, you know, feel free to leave a question or a comment or something in the chat. John can kind of be reading those and kind of fielding those to me, and, you know, we can both be asking those questions. But if you did have anything that needed kind of clarifying on those couple of items,
yeah, and we would like to, and sorry, Andrew, just like we have a Q&A section here on Teams. So if you want to leave something for later to be discussed, feel free to just add that to the Q&A, and then we'll open up a session to answer those questions. Yeah, if it's something that doesn't relate necessarily to what we're discussing, we can have that Q&A session later.
I think an important thing to highlight here is that, you know, this is by no means going to affect how much you, the professional, is earning. Like if you're earning $30 an hour right now, you know, us shifting to this will mean you're still earning $30 an hour. It's just going to reset what CADCOW is earning and reset what the client is paying. So financially, this actually isn't going to affect, you know, you as a professional. Your hourly rate will stay the same. So I'd just like to now move on to this new widget we're looking to develop. So essentially on your dashboard, and I'm just using Rachel's kind of dashboard here as an example, Currently, it kind of lists all these packages here on the right-hand side. If you look at the public version of your profile, you'll start to see those prices. And as I kind of mentioned before, you're not actually able to set your hourly rate or change it. You have to kind of like yourself. You have to come to us, and we have to do it manually. What we are looking to do is add potentially a widget like this at the top, and actually also enable you to see these packages on your logged in profile. So you don't currently see them, only the kind of clients see them. So let me just scroll down to the next page. This is actually sort of like a mock-up of the widget. So as you can see, it allows you to set up your pricing. Our current rate split is 70-30. This is kind of speculative, as you can see by the pie chart previously. We're still sort of figuring this out, but let's just say this was on the platform, and you would be able to see, okay, our current split is 70-30. You would be able to input your hourly rate, the hourly rate in which you would like to be earning, into this field here, and it would represent 70% of the rate the client will pay. Underneath, to continue the transparency, you'll be able to see what the split is for CAD-COW. So CAD-COW's 30% works out to be $15. When you apply that $15 to your hourly rate, the total rate pricing guide then shows what the client will pay. And, depending on your experience level, it will help guide you to providing an hourly rate that we feel that clients are kind of willing to pay for someone of your experience level in a certain market. So this sort of green zone here, let's just say this is like an advanced level person, someone with kind of maybe 15 years of experience or something. That zone here would represent the kind of green zone in which we feel like a client, would be willing to pay for someone with your experience level. There's no point in you either kind of like overpricing yourself. Like if you change this to, I don't know, $75 and it really bumps you out to over here, or once again, if you kind of are, pricing yourself too low and you end up over here, it's neither good. Clients perceive people as being too expensive, as being out of their reach, and then they're also wondering why someone might be too cheap as well. So it's really good to kind of provide a price that ends up sitting in the right zone. So we would then have this little kind of message saying this hourly rate aligns with what a client would expect to pay. And then we might have a couple of little notes down here as well, but essentially that's kind of the concept design for this new widget. Yeah, I mean, does anyone kind of have any feedback? I mean, please feel free to kind of leave that in the the chat now. But otherwise, I sort of hope that kind of live demonstration of what we're thinking helps describe what we're trying to do. And yeah, I mean, if anyone wants to kind of leave a comment after the fact, we'll leave that feedback form as well. Yeah, have I forgotten anything, John, do you think?
No, I think I pretty much covered at least this module of the hourly rate widget and the split, which is what we wanted to mainly discuss today. But yeah, we invite you, if you have it, if you have been using the platform, if you have any other comments and feedback about, just your experience so far, yeah, feel free to share with us. We are always open to have a chat as well. So I'm going to leave another link here for you to book a meeting with us. So we welcome you to do so if you have any ideas you'd like to share or any other comments and feedback. So yeah, other than that, I think that's pretty much it. Unless anyone else has any comments or any questions.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining, and yeah, thank you for being part of CADCow's startup adventure. We really appreciate that. You're coming on this journey with us. You're sort of part of building this platform with us. Yeah, always feel free to provide those comments of feedback that we keep kind of begging everyone for. It really does help us drive this, this whole thing in the right direction and to create something that you guys are, actually going to value and, brings value to, providing, a viable, business opportunity for you. And yeah, really appreciative that you're part of this. So thank you very much, everyone, and have a lovely day. And yeah, we'll be hopefully back in touch soon with another session. But yeah, as John said, book a meeting, and we're open to meeting with anyone anytime as well.
Yeah, actually, Javier just left us a note here. He's saying, hello, and thank you for explaining the new widget that allows customization of the hourly rate. He was wondering if the hourly rate and split can be adjusted as one gains more experience on the platform with CADCow. So I guess, feel free to expand on this. But basically, if the hourly rate, yes, you'll be able to essentially select your own hourly rate. And the split, as Andrew was explaining, our main idea is to start with the 70-30 split. So that's a fixed split. And then as the platform grows, as we are able to scale the business, and we are able to then reduce our let's say, our shares of the split, and then transition to something more like 85-15 potentially.
Yeah, the split would kind of be a universal split across the platform. It wouldn't kind of necessarily be customized for individual users. But I think as well, it might be important to note is like, as the kind of years go on and you get more experience and you're propagating your profile with new experiences, then the green zone which I showed on that widget will change. So if you've done 5 years or something like that, and you're now recognized as being the next level of professional, it'll change the green zone so that it'll indicate to you, oh, I could be charging more now because I've got more experience.
Yeah, in the future, as we advance on the platform and make the platform a bit more, let's say, more intelligent in a way, it can be able to provide you more realistic insights about the market where you're offering your services to. So basically, down the road, the platform will be able to really understand through many experiences of clients and professionals to know how much you should be pricing yourself, or at least giving you that insight. But yeah, maybe that's just as part of the insights on the platform.
Yeah, thanks, Javier. Thanks for asking that. Yeah. Okay. So if there's no more questions, then
no, you're welcome, Javier. Yeah, thank you for the question. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, thanks everyone. We shall be in touch again shortly, and I hope everyone has a good day.
Yeah. Enjoy your long weekend. Bye-bye.
See ya.